Hey everyone. Okay, I've had an offer on the Craftsman truck. It's part of a trade deal. It'd be for the Craftsman truck, and I'd be trading it for another golf cart. Also, I'm willing to throw in a Craftsman LTX 1000 chassis, but just has a different body on it. I'll show that tractor in a couple minutes. Basically, to sweeten the deal, because a golf cart is worth about half of what the LTX 1000, and the truck is probably worth about the other half of what a golf cart would be worth. The truck will come with an extra set of back tires. It's going to eventually need a set of front tires. Also, it comes with an extra transmission. This has a Peerless in it currently. The extra transmission is also a Peerless. The extra transmission was in the truck, but it has a broken gear somewhere inside the transmission. It still functions, but I believe it's in second gear. It skips. So, but like I said, the transmission still fully functions. It is an extra transmission. I don't know if I scared them off on this potential deal when I told them what was really wrong with the truck. Really, there's only four main things that I can think of offhand that is currently wrong with the truck. The first off is the brakes, but I do use this on a regular basis the way it is, with the brakes the way they are. I think all they could need is new pads put in, or the brakes actually adjusted. I might, if it's comes down to having brakes on to make the steel go through or not, I might try and fix the brakes myself. As everybody knows, and the build videos are on my channel, this used to be a small regular Craftsman tractor. I purchased some angle iron and I extended it out approximately 3.5–4 feet. This is not angle iron you can get at Canadian Tire. This is heavy gauge angle iron. This tractor can handle a lot of weight. If you remember, this was a dual transmission tractor in the first place, but I've since gotten rid of the center transmission and went with just a single set of back tires. It did work with the dual transmissions. I was able to make it work, but it was just too hard to drive, and I was running into issues with the center tires kept on going flat, and I ran out of tires, and I built this thing on a budget. The second issue with the Craftsman truck is the box. So you can see there is an assortment of bungee cords holding this box together. Structurally, the box is poor, mainly the front. The back isn't too bad, but the front is in pretty rough condition, as you can see, hence the bungee cords. The frame of the box is perfect. This is made out of Canadian Tire angle, all welded together. I had plans at one time, and I may still end up doing this, building a new box out of plywood on top of this frame that's already here. The frame, like I said, is solid. It's all been welded in. It's been notched into the actual chassis right here, all welded. You can actually lift the entire tractor off the frame I built. As you can see, I was actually lifting the entire tractor from this point right here. Hopefully the video is not too shaky. I'm just trying my best to get this video done in one take. So that's the second issue, the box. At one time I had a plywood floor in here, and the plywood really was not good for the base steel. This box wasn't the best to begin with anyways. I wish I wouldn't have bought it. I wish I would have built something in the first place, but I needed something quick because I had to start using this. So I put this together and I made it work. The third issue with the truck, which is in my opinion a minor issue, the exhaust. When it's cold, I'll demonstrate. This is a cold start. It needs exhaust. It needs exhaust gaskets. It has a Y pipe that's connecting both cylinders together, and it goes down to a single, relatively large muffler. This will come with an extra set of an extra exhaust system. I have that came off another engine, since I didn't need to use it on the John Deere. John Deere came with an exhaust system. I do have an extra exhaust for this engine. Speaking of the engine, it says it's a Briggs 19 Intech, but it's more like a 23 horse. I'm just using the 19 covers. I went on eBay and bought a brand new carburetor for this, but it has a bigger carburetor in it. So it actually has the biggest Intech carburetor you can actually get for these engines. It is fully pressure lubricated. There's the oil filter, and it also has oil pressure and oil temp on the dash, which both are functioning, and this button right here is a horn. So also, as you can see, it's been upgraded to run a car battery. It does not need a car battery to run, but it does have a car battery. Also, this thing has an alarm system on it, which is fully functional. I will not demonstrate the alarm. It is very loud, and if you want to see how the alarm works, there are videos on my channel showing the actual alarm installation and how the alarm actually does work. Lastly, the issue with this would be the front tires. It will need front tires eventually, and the steering has a bit of play in it. But the steering play is not a big deal. It still runs, drives, steers perfectly fine. It's just when these tractors get older, they tend to get play in the steering wheel. And I do have another steering box. Was originally going for the Racer, but I can include it into the deal with this as well, if need be. But really, that's the only issues I can think of it that's wrong with this. And I can also swap out that seat with the seat on the Alice Chalmers. So it does have a small tear right there. It does have a rear tank, obviously. Also, this has been strengthened in the front end with frame connectors right here. Same way I did my Racer, if you watch those videos. The Craftsmans have a issue right here where the frame does crack. This frame, I don't believe, was cracked. I caught it in time, but I put these frame connectors on here anyways just to help strengthen up the frame. And they go on this one straight from here underneath the actual dashboard, firewall, whatever you want to call it, all the way to the front, fully strengthening this frame. It's a little bit dirty right now, but it does function. I've actually had the entire bed full of dirt past the top edge, and I drove it out of a hole. And this thing did not skip a beat. It did it perfectly fine. I believe I had a single rear axle in it when I did do that. I don't quite remember. But there's part of the alarm system right there. It doesn't need the alarm. I just have the alarm on here anyways, just as a added bonus, deterrent, what have you. So also, this has fully functioning four-way flashers on the front, both sides, and on the rear. The left tail light is broken, but the actual housing is perfectly fine. I backed into a mower deck, the 44-inch deck, I believe it was, that was on the Craftsman diesel. I backed into that and cracked my light. These wires here are set up to just have constant power. So if you have a trailer, the trailer lights will just stay on constant. This is your ground pin, positive, positive. So it technically has two power leads going to it. I don't believe these are hooked up to blink. They might be, they might not be. I don't quite remember offhand. And this is just a standard receiver. I've never towed with it, but I imagine you could tow a reasonably okay sized trailer without ripping the entire rear bumper off. I have towed in the hooks on both sides before, but I've never towed with the receiver. And I believe I got a receiver that will fit this somewhere, if that is an issue. But overall, the Craftsman truck has been extremely reliable, and only issue I've ever had with it, I put some really bad gas in it at one time, and it plugged up the fuel filter. But since then, everything has been perfectly fine on it. Here, my tire hoard. I don't really want to give up these tires right here. These are my homemade studded tires, which on that tractor worked perfectly, extremely well last winter. But I do have two sets of rear 20 by 10s. Basically, you can pick a set you want to take. I would like to keep one set, and I'm willing to let the complete set go with the tractor as well. Again, they are 20 by 10s, they hold air, and I believe they're almost brand new. The one set I have has no cracks in it to my knowledge, and are in very good condition. But if you do truly want these ones right here, they are still holding air, I will let them go. Like I said, they worked extremely well last winter on that. They dug in perfectly fine, and if you remember the winter we had last year, it wasn't a very fun winter. And here is the second transmission that will also go with the truck. It's identical to the transmission that's currently in the truck, but this one here is oil filled. Like I said, it has a broken tooth on either the spider gear or on one of the shifter gears. I'm not sure which one. I believe it could be on second gear. But this is also a welded differential, so it's, I guess it would be posi. So this is a welded transaxle. It's actually been welded, and it has 2 extra spider gears put in, and I just welded it just to keep the spider gears in there. This has a little bit of added strength. But this transmission replaced the gear. It's good to go. I believe I also have a gear for this transmission, so I just have to look around for it and take it out and include it. But the gears I used to lock this came out of the extra transmission I have. This is a parts transmission. But there it is. So overall, there's the truck. Next video will be the second part of the trade, if this trade does go through. And that's pretty much it. So talk to me later. Please keep your neck like always, and please subscribe and comment.